Chapter 5, Sea Turtles, Ocean Nomads. Final chapter. Here are the vocabulary words for Chapter 5. Delicacy. A delicacy is something that is pleasing to eat and often is hard to find. Regarded. Someone who is highly regarded is looked upon with a lot of respect. Eroding. When something is eroding, it is being destroyed slowly over time. Ensure. To ensure something is to guarantee or make certain. Discards. The discards found in the trash are things that have been rejected or thrown out. Cooperation. Cooperation occurs when people work together for the benefit of all. Comply. To comply is to conform or adapt. When one complies with a law, one is following the law. Refuges. Refuges are shelters or places where one can go to be protected. Havens. Havens are places of safety. Obstructions are things that block one from getting somewhere. So for your vocab assignment, we're just going to do one word. Pick one word from the vocabulary list, and you can make your own graphic organizer on your piece of paper. So make sure you have the word listed. Make sure you have a definition of the word. Part of speech, is it a noun, a verb, an adjective, or so on? A synonym, a word that means the same. An antonym, a word that means the opposite. Please use the word in a sentence, and please make a picture to remind yourself of that word. So you're just going to choose one today. So chapter 5 is time running out. So I'm not giving you any chapter questions today, but after you're done listening to chapter 5, if you could please take the Sea Turtles test that is attached to the template, and you will click on it, and you will need to enter your parents' email and your name, and then you can take the test, the quiz. It's just like when you take the states and capitals quiz as well. So is time running out? Some people fear that sea turtles are going the way of the dinosaurs. After having outlived them by 65 million years, sea turtles are now teetering on the edge of extinction. All 8 species of sea turtles are listed as endangered or threatened, which means their populations are greatly reduced. Although a mother sea turtle may lay several batches of 100 or more eggs each time she breeds, she usually doesn't begin reproducing until she is about 25 years old. And some turtles don't have their first babies until they are almost 50. Because it takes so long for a sea turtle to mature, it also takes a long time to replace a population that's been depleted by fishing, pollution, or other causes. What is killing the sea turtles? In the days of sail, seafarers traveling through tropical waters often captured female sea turtles as they struggled up the beaches to lay their eggs. They stored the living turtles on their backs in the holds of the ships. Although turning it on its back made it impossible for a turtle to escape, it did help the turtle to breathe more easily out of water by relieving the weight of its shell on its lungs. When fresh meat was needed on a long voyage, a turtle was brought on deck and slaughtered. The demand for sea turtle soup, a popular food fad in London in the 1800s, and tortoiseshell combs also motivated sailors to return with a ship full of turtles. Tropical islanders have long regarded turtle eggs as a delicacy. In fact, turtle eggs were once used to pay rent to the local ruler, the Sultan of Sulu in Southeast Asia. Poaching eggs for food, or their supposed medicinal power, has devastated many sea turtle populations. In some places, female turtles can no longer get to the beaches where they had hatched in order to lay their eggs. Or if they do, their former homes are unrecognizable. Their nesting sites have been replaced or blocked by hotels, condominiums, and seawalls. Even where beaches remain, Females may not come ashore, disoriented by tall buildings or the unfamiliar scent of sand trucked in to fill eroding beaches. If they do lay eggs, their hatchlings, confused by streetlights and car lights, may head toward land instead of the sea. In addition to human-caused problems, natural disasters such as hurricanes can flood beaches and wash eggs out of their nests. In the open ocean, pollution and fishing nets are the turtles' greatest dangers. Non-degradable garbage such as balloons, plastic bottles, and plastic bags are often mistaken for jellyfish, and sea turtles can become entangled in fishing nets or cast off rope or fishing line. The biggest threat is the shrimp trawl. It is a heavy net that is dragged along the ocean floor, scooping up everything in its path. Shrimp fishermen throw back about 4/5 of what they catch. The discards may be young fish, crabs, lobsters, or sea turtles. Most are dead by the time the nets are hauled onto the boats. Another danger to sea turtles comes from a type of fishing gear that catches tuna, swordfish, and other large fish. Fishermen known as longliners set strings of fishing lines baited with as many as 2,000 hooks, leaving them to drift with the current. These long lines sometimes stretch across 30 miles of ocean. Glow-in-the-dark light sticks are hung on the fishing lines to lure tuna and swordfish to the hooks. They also attract leatherback sea turtles, which apparently mistake them for jellyfish. Many turtles are caught and drowned by fishing gear. Who is helping to save the sea turtles? Community conservation, in which everyone has a stake in saving the turtles, is one of the best ways to ensure that sea turtles survive. In parts of Brazil, Central America, and Southeast Asia, sea turtles were once only a source of delicious meat and valued eggs. Now, with conservationists and local residents working together, whole villages have turned from poaching eggs to protecting sea turtle nesting sites. Some residents are paid to patrol the beaches to guard against poaching by humans or by wild animals. If the nests are in danger, game wardens may dig up the eggs and rebury them in protected hatcheries. Hunters who once raided nests now guide tourists to see these appealing animals lay their eggs. Villagers have discovered that sea turtles are more valuable alive than dead, not just to the environment but also to the local economy. In many places, fishermen have been responsible for the decline of local sea turtle populations. But in Nova Scotia, fishermen are working with scientists to track turtle migration to help rebuild the population. As leatherback sea turtles swim past their coast between June and August, fishermen call in turtle sightings from their fishing vessels. If they can get close enough, they photograph the giant beast as they swim by. Distinctive markings on the turtles' heads help the researchers track individual animals. By providing a glimpse into part of the leatherback's lives, more than 100 fishermen are helping to gather information that will be used to develop conservation plans for these endangered animals. One of the greatest threats to sea turtles comes from shrimping boats. Often sea turtles are caught in nets along with the schools of shrimp. By the time the nets are raised to the surface, the air-breathing turtles have drowned. Turtle excluder devices are now required on all U.S. shrimp fishing boats. A turtle excluder device is a slanted metal chute that is sewn into the end of a shrimp net. It has a trap door that allows the animals to slip out of the net before they drown. Scientists estimate that TEDs make it possible for 97% of the sea turtles to escape while keeping most of the shrimp, too small to open the door, in the net. Fishermen worry that some of their shrimp catch escapes through the turtle excluder devices. But without them, an estimated 55,000 sea turtles will be caught and drowned each year. Turtle excluder devices also reduce the catch of other unwanted animals. Countries like the United States, Brazil, and India are making progress in protecting sea turtles, and recently there has been an upturn in the populations of loggerheads and olive ridleys. But individual countries can't do it alone. As we learn just how far sea turtles migrate, the need for international cooperation to protect sea turtles becomes even more urgent. While many countries agree that it is important to protect endangered species, when it comes to taking action, it's a lot harder to find cooperation. Of the 75 countries that supply shrimp to U.S. markets, only 12 have laws requiring the use of turtle excluder devices, and even they don't check to make sure their fishermen comply with the laws. The United States reserves the right to ban shrimp imports from countries that don't require TEDs. Local efforts may make the most difference. In Florida, which has over 90% of all sea turtle nesting sites in North America, many residents make sure their guests from the sea feel welcome. Some towns in Florida require that waterfront residents and hotels dim their lights or turn them off during turtle nesting season. Other communities require that shields be put up on the ocean-facing side of street lamps and other lights. One conservation group in Florida went to court to block a plan a town had approved to build seawalls that would have cut off a favorite turtle nesting site. People are using their buying power as consumers to change the way fishermen and fish dealers operate. In 1990, the public demand for dolphin-safe tuna forced tuna harvesters to change the way they catch tuna. Now some people are organizing a campaign to guarantee that shrimp fishermen use TEDs. In San Francisco and in Boston, and perhaps soon in other cities, some fish dealers are selling turtle-friendly shrimp, guaranteeing that they were caught in nets outfitted with turtle-excluded devices. When you go into a restaurant and order shrimp, you might ask, is it turtle safe? All of us can help protect sea turtles. Sea turtles also need more refuges. The coastal waters where sea turtles gather to mate should be restricted from fishing during breeding season. Mother turtles also need safe havens where they can lay their eggs without being disturbed by poachers. Bright lights or even well-meaning tourists who flock to the beach to witness this miracle of nature and instead scare away the nesting turtles. More research is needed to learn if there are regular migration routes that sea turtles use to travel between their feeding grounds and their nesting beaches. If there are, and if tagging studies can show where these routes are, then perhaps governments could ban fishing in these areas when the turtles are passing through. These children are feeding lettuce to a green sea turtle. Sea turtle hospitals. Sea turtle hospitals treat stranded, sick, and wounded sea turtles. Each fall, a sea turtle rehabilitation center at the New England Aquarium in Boston treats cold-stunned turtles that had wandered into the shallow waters of Cape Cod Bay during the warm summer months and waited too long to leave. A sudden cold snap in late autumn may strand hundreds of young sea turtles. Common symptoms of cold-stunned turtles, says Connie Marigo, stranding program coordinator, are frostbitten eyes and the tips of the flippers. As in a hospital, the stranding program workers, many of them volunteers, use fetal heart monitors to check their patient's pulse, x-rays to diagnose cases of pneumonia, and CAT scans and blood samples to find out what other complications the sick turtles may have. Another turtle hospital on the Florida Keys operates on sick turtles to remove tumors and obstructions. They keep the turtles in outdoor pools until they are well enough to return to the ocean. Sea turtle hospitals help sea turtles that have swallowed fish hooks or been cold stunned, wounded by sharks, struck by boats, or entangled in fishing nets. Some need waterproof casts to repair broken shells or flippers. When the turtles are well again, they are tagged and released into the ocean. Sea turtle rehabilitation is fairly new, so each new case adds to researchers' knowledge about turtle health. State-of-the-art turtle hospitals treat ailing sea turtles. All that people are learning about sea turtles is being used to rescue them, not only from fishing nets and disease, but from extinction itself. At the Underwater Observatory Marine Park in Eilat, Israel, curator Guy Ayalon and his staff have hatched, raised, and released 120 hawksbill sea turtles. He says, there are important reasons for doing this project. First, hawksbill turtles are in danger of extinction. Second, in nature, more than 90% of sea turtles die at a young age. This is the reason that it is so important for us to raise them here at the park for 9 months before releasing them to the sea. This project is done in cooperation with the community of Eilat and with the involvement of the local school children, which naturally leads to their being more conscious of nature conservation and the need to protect the ocean environment, especially the sea turtles. Other sea turtle rescue programs assert that sea turtle populations can better be served by protecting nesting beaches and reducing deaths of adult turtles at the hands of poachers and fishermen. But the intent of all these efforts is the same, to ensure that sea turtles, the original ocean nomads, are welcome wherever they roam. One person who made a difference. If sea turtles have a best friend, it is Dr. Archie Carr. He was a wildlife biologist who spent a lifetime learning, teaching, and writing about sea turtles. He also worked to preserve and protect sea turtles around the world and inspired others to do the same. Dr. Carr helped establish national parks to preserve sea turtle nesting sites. His warnings about the collapse of sea turtle populations from habitat destruction and overfishing led to the formation of the Caribbean Conservation Corporation to push for the protection of sea turtles. After his death in 1987, Congress established the Archie Carr National Wildlife Refuge to protect a 20-mile stretch of beach along Florida's east coast where loggerhead, green, and occasionally leatherback turtles come to lay their eggs. Archie Carr devoted 55 years to the study of sea turtles, and he knew more about them than any other person. When Dr. Carr died, an admirer wrote of him, "His work with sea turtles taught him to see the world as few people have, through the eyes of other species." So there are a couple of organizations that work to protect sea turtles. So we've got the Caribbean Conservation Corporation and the Center for Marine Conservation. And some other things you could do: keep the sea turtles home clean, take part in a beach cleanup. Instead of releasing helium balloons, celebrate by releasing dragonflies or ladybugs. Be a savvy consumer, ask for turtle-safe seafood. Write letters to politicians supporting turtle protection laws. Adopt a turtle to support sea turtle research and conservation. Take a turtle walk should you have the opportunity to accompany a responsible guide to see a sea turtle lay her eggs on the beach at night. It will be a drama you will never forget. The money raised by these walks often helps support sea turtle rescue and rehabilitation projects. So as I said before we started the chapter, make sure you take the test that's on the template, push blue reading group, and then you put your parents' email address, or if you have an email address, and then your name, and then you can go ahead and take the quiz. I hope you enjoyed Sea Turtles Ocean Nomads.